You're in your 40s, your sleep's not like it used to be, you're snoring a bit more, you seem to forget things, and everyone's talking about testosterone, TRT, Testosterone Replacement Therapy. Should you get a test done? Well, I'm 43 today and I'm going to go and get tested. Now this might help you out if you're thinking about it, and hopefully what I go through will give you some information for you to better judge on what you should do next. I use a company called Optimal, ordered it online, was here the next day. So the test cost £35 and inside there is some instructions on how to use it and 2 lancets and a receptacle to collect the blood test. Now, I didn't read the instructions properly, so it took me 20 minutes to get sufficient amount of blood, and if I'd have read the instructions, I'm supposed to soak my hands in warm water for 2 minutes, which would then speed up the whole process of removing blood from the body. All in all, quite a simple process, and then we went and got that posted in the post box to get the results in the next few days. Probably a good idea at this point to talk about what testosterone is, what is TRT, and what are some of the natural ways to increase your testosterone. So what is TRT? TRT is Testosterone Replacement Therapy. TRT is used to treat low testosterone, hypogonadism in men, a condition where the body does not produce enough testosterone, and treatments can include things like injections, patches and gels. Now, from what I've gathered, injections is the better way to do it, but not everybody's happy about sticking a needle in themselves. What's the safety around this? Well, a review published in the Journal of American Medical Association highlights that TRT can improve sexual function, mood, bone density, but it may increase the risk of cardiovascular events such as heart attacks and strokes. Although from what I've found, there isn't a massive amount of solid evidence around this, although there is a potential risk, or appears to be a potential risk, in the increase of prostate cancer growth for people that have a higher risk of this. So seeking professional advice on this is very important. What are the common symptoms of low testosterone? Well, I'll come on to what I'm experiencing, but let's cover off in general. So these can include fatigue, mood changes, weight gain, reduced muscle mass and low libido, and a few others. Now, feeling any of these symptoms may lead you to consider to test your testosterone levels, or your testosterone is to blame. But sometimes some of these symptoms can be rectified through other methods, and I'll come on to that in a second. So as men get older, testosterone levels naturally reduce, and this is normal. But if the range gets chronically low, then this can lead to the symptoms that I've just described. And that brings me to my personal experience. I decided to get tested because I was frequently feeling tired and just not myself. So I've shown you how the testing process worked, and this works in 2 stages. The first stage is the finger prick test, and then depending on the results of that, you go for a full blood test. I was also a little cynical, thinking about all these TRT companies that are popping up, that even if levels were low to normal range, so not chronically low, if they were still going to say, let's sell you some testosterone. Anyway, let's cover the things that you can do to naturally increase your testosterone, and sometimes the symptoms that I've discussed might not even be testosterone related. Exercise. Now, resistance training research indicates that moderate to high intensity resistance training can lead to testosterone levels increasing in the short term. Whilst aerobic exercise, running, cardiovascular stuff, whilst it's beneficial for overall health, the effects on testosterone are mixed, and according to a recent study, prolonged moderate aerobic exercise may slightly increase or have just minimal impacts on testosterone levels. So resistance training is key, and that is something that I do frequently. Diet and hormonal health. Diet plays a big part in a lot of our well-being, and for people that don't eat well, don't feel well. So having a balanced diet will really help things, and things like zinc and vitamin D and healthy fats are crucial for testosterone production. Now, the role of dietary fats or healthy fats like those found in fish, nuts and olive oil can support hormonal balance, including testosterone levels. Stress and hormonal health. Being stressed elevates cortisol levels, which has a negative effect on testosterone. And the research in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism demonstrates that stress and high cortisol can significantly reduce testosterone levels. Sleep. More and more evidence is showing that sleep plays probably one of the most significant roles in our lives, and not getting enough of it, and living in a world where there's so much temptation to either stay awake and watch more telly, or just to stay awake and work longer, means that sleep is becoming less and less, and there's a lot more sleep sleep debt in individuals. So the poorer quality and duration of sleep is linked to lower levels of testosterone. But what I did do whilst I was waiting for the results, and have been doing for a little while, is I really focused on some of the things that can be used to improve those symptoms that may not be testosterone related. So sleep was definitely an issue for me. I wasn't always switching off electronics. I wasn't setting a regular bedtime 7 days a week rather than just Monday to Friday. And I wasn't always getting the 6 to 9 hours per night. I also recorded my sleep in an app that monitored snoring, and I found actually by wearing a nose strip, the quality of my sleep improved. This made probably the biggest difference. I also became quite slack in keeping well hydrated. Now, hydration is very important for our bodies. It's like, imagine watering a garden, but not doing it often. The garden's going to come withered and dehydrated and not probably last or perform particularly well or even look that great. So getting sufficient water is required, and a rule of thumb, for every 25 kilograms you weigh, we should be drinking 1 litre of water, up to maybe a maximum for men of 4 litres, women 3 litres. Something else I didn't do was take time for me to de-stress and unwind. I was always working or had family jobs to do, and I never felt that I could sit down. I didn't think there was time in the day just to have 30 minutes either to sit down, go for a walk, do something that unplugged me from society. But doing that really has helped, one, with my mental health, and being able to unwind and stop. We live in a very fast-paced world now. If you go back to when I was a kid, it was much easier to stop then, because there wasn't all these temptations and things pulling us in. And maybe sometimes we need to switch off and remove ourselves from those things. So what were my results? Well, my results came through on an email, and they all came back in normal range, which was great. And that kind of made me feel at peace with, like, well, even if they're low to normal range, the company's not just trying to push and sell TRT. So doing all those has helped me feel 100% better. I don't need to go on TRT, and maybe give some of these things a try to help yourself. Secretly, I was hoping for a testosterone boost because I wanted to build more muscle, but you know, it's probably for the best. And if you want to know whether steroids can make people famous, then watch this video here.